Elden Ring is by far my favourite release of 2022 so far. But there is a serious problem that Elden Ring has. So when you jump into a game like this, you have your story, like your campaign, whatever you want to call it. You have that single player experience, obviously there's a little bit of co-op and stuff in there. But you have that experience, you go through a load of builds, and then, like I'm facing right now, I'm burnt out. It feels as though there's nothing for me to do in the game. However, I fancied playing, so I jumped into some PvP, and that's where the biggest problem is. That's where the serious problem stems from. Because when you look at games like this, you have your single player experience, or mainly single player, and then in order to increase the lifespan of the game, the PvP side of it has to perform well. If you look at games like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, you look at God of War, The Last of Us, Horizon Forbidden West, players can absolutely love the game. However, once you've done it once, twice, 3 times, you're going to get bored and eventually you will leave the game. And then you look at games like Warzone, Apex Legends, FIFA, like the online experience, like the player versus player stuff, is always going to have a much bigger lifespan purely because there's like a difference in how you play. Like each match on FIFA will have a different opponent, so a different play style, and you have to adapt to it. And there's just so much more to an online experience than what there is to like a PvE experience or a single player experience, and there are problems in the PvP and quite bad ones in Elden Ring. So typically you jump into an invasion and it can be you and like you're against up to 3 other players, which isn't necessarily the problem. And I'm not sure if it's still happening right now, but there used to be a problem with people basically just hiding. They are in like inaccessible areas to other players that are invading them. The players would eventually get bored, they would leave, you'd get a load of runes for it, and people would just sit there and like essentially AFK farm for hours and hours. And that really sent the PvP on a downhill sort of path. And I don't think there's been updates and stuff to fix them sort of problems, but when it comes to the normal PvP where you're actually fighting other players, it's so easy to win a battle and it's so easy to lose one, because of how the game is balanced. So you've got your different builds, you've got like a Rivers build, you've got Dex build, Strength, so on and so forth. And even if it is a 1v3, you can win them, you can lose them, but it's just like it doesn't encourage you to play more like an online experience should, because when you go into an invasion, basically one wrong move can end your entire thing, because some of the builds are so strong that if you combat roll and you're a split second too late, that could be the end of your invasion. If you try jumping, if you like miss time an attack or anything like that, it can basically just throw the entire match out of the window. And I think that's a problem because it becomes irritating. You go in, someone's got a meta overpowered build, or a broken build as a lot of us content creators have called them. You come against a player that has that and they're not even the host, and like it's just basically a running simulator. You're just constantly running, trying to get away from the enemy. You're trying to focus one at a time, but you've got 3 of them coming at you, or maybe it's a 2v2 and they're both tracking you and your teammate isn't that good or something like that. I see it as a problem with the balance of the game in PvP, just purely because it's so unbalanced. One hit can be the end of an invasion, and it just stops it being as enjoyable as I personally feel it should be. However, that is my opinion. I do still absolutely love the game. This isn't like a complaint and oh, the game sucks. This is I really, really wish they would have done the PvP side of the game better and balanced it differently to the single player or something, so that there was more fun and it would actually increase the lifespan of the game. Obviously, when they release DLC, if they do or whatever, people will come back and they're going to absolutely love it. FromSoftware have always been amazing with their games. They actually put time, effort, love, care, everything into the titles they release. But for the game to be continuing right now, because it's losing players every day due to people having done everything in like New Game Plus 7, and they've done everything on the characters they want to play and everything like that, the PvP should be holding the player base right now, but I feel as though it's not. Check out this video if you want to see other Elden Ring content from my channel, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.